Hi everybody, welcome back to Homestead, Ohio. I'm out here in the vineyard. This is the grapes I planted earlier this spring. Several of them have made it up to the top wire there. I did put a mid wire on a couple of the rows here. I've still got to do a couple more, but I don't move the fastest on some of my projects. It is getting ready for fall. The weather's cooling down a little bit. We finally got some rain last night after about almost 2 months. We've had like maybe a ½ inch of rain. We got 0.8 of an inch of rain last night, which was much needed out here. And like I said, fall starting. It's early September. You can see some of the goldenrod in the back there is just starting to bloom, so that'll provide some pollen, some good needed nutrition for the bees. The grapevines are doing well, and although they won't produce any grapes this year, and I'm not going to let them produce any grapes next year because I really need them to establish the vines as hardy of vines as I can get on here. And that leads me to another issue is once it does get going, I got to have a place to harvest it. Now, this was my first year for harvesting honey, and I only harvested 8 frames so far. I'll probably do some more pretty soon. But for me to harvest honey right now, I have to do this in my kitchen, which is not the best place. I don't want to bring bees into the house. My wife is allergic to bees, not terribly allergic. She does swell up quite a bit when she gets stung. I don't have that issue. I get a little red dot, and that's about it. But I don't want to bring them in the house. I don't want to process grapes in the house. My original 12 vines I did plant, I was able to harvest a few pounds of grapes off of each one of 2 of the 3 varieties I've got. And I was able to make a gallon of red wine and a gallon of white wine. They're not complete. They're still in their primary fermentation. But the issue is I don't want to bring all this stuff in the house. And I'm not the fastest on getting projects done. As you can see, the greenhouse there is still not complete. But I'm working on things, and I don't think I'm going to take on any new projects. At least not any new projects from today on. I've already started several new projects. Let's get over and take a look at one of them. Okay, so this is my latest project here. Now, I did not build this because, like I said, I'm pretty slow moving when it comes to projects, with only having weekends available, full-time job. And by full-time, I mean 50 plus hours a week. So I had a crew come out here. It was a couple Amish guys that come out here and put this thing up in about 5 hours. Did a fantastic job at it. Did it really quick. I kind of supervised most of it. It was interesting to watch those guys work, and they've got everything down to a science, the way they build these things. A lot of it was prefab, the walls and everything were done, and they put it up, and we're done by noon, and did a great job at it. It's a siding, it's a pre-primed siding, everything, so we still got to paint it. Now, I did not have them put doors and windows in it because I wanted a good insulated door, and this is a shed. But I'm going to insulate it and everything. So it's going to be the new winemaking, beer making, honey processing projects, kind of the farm processing stuff. Anyways, let's go inside and take a look at it. Okay, so here it is, and the audio is probably going to sound kind of funky because this room is bare. There's nothing in it. Now, the size of this thing, it is 16 feet wide, 24 feet long. So it was had to have been built on site. They couldn't just pick it up and haul it here. And I'm hoping this gives me enough room to do what I want to do in here. I plan on putting a sink over here, a sanitization area for keeping everything clean. Over on this side, I plan on putting the honey stuff over here, both an extractor, maybe a decapping tank, a bottling setup and everything. It doesn't need a whole lot of room, but I need a way to keep the bees from going in the house. I want to keep them out here. The winemaking stuff, I will probably put, like I said, the sink and everything over here, a stainless table. I want to get some kitchen grade stuff, commercial grade stuff, and I will probably be looking on Marketplace for stuff like that. Try to save me a little bit of money because I spent plenty enough on this. I've been saving up for it for a little while, and was finally able to pull the trigger and get it moving. but the rest of this is going to take a lot more time. Now there's several other things I'm going to do with this. First of all, I've got to get the wiring up, and then I'm going to get it insulated. I want it insulated very well because I plan on using a mini split system in here, and I will probably use a solar mini split. Technology's come a long ways. I was planning originally on putting just a window unit in here, and I thought, well, heat would be nice, so I thought a propane wall hanging heater, because not that many square feet in here. So heating and cooling it will be pretty easy. In the other corner over here, I plan on putting maybe like a little studio area where I can do some explaining, maybe do some reviewing of some of the farm things, some of the wine things, some of the honey processing things, and whatever else I can think of in here. I had thought of putting a gas oven in here to do some breads and stuff, because I would eventually like to grow some of my own grains, process it, make both the beer and some bread from it. There's a lot of stuff you can do on a small acreage if you've got the right equipment, you've got the time and everything. But I've got some tools and stuff in here. I did put the windows and the doors in, so the next thing I've got to do is wiring and all that good stuff. It's a very solid built shed, 2x4 walls. They did put this 2x3 strong back in here all the way around mid-rail. Kind of gives you a good solid place for them to nail the siding on there, minimizes flex, minimizes any bowing of the studs in the walls. It does have two 4-foot lofts, one on each end, and I can use that to store some of the honey stuff up here, maybe some hives, some supers, whatever supplies I need for that, bottles for bottling the honey and stuff. Over on this side, I can put like carboys and stuff up there for the beer making and the wine making and stuff. The only thing I don't like, and I really can't get away from it, is there are 3 trusses in the middle here that have, I can't remember what you call them. It's a tie going all the way across. It's the bottom cord of the truss, and that's to keep your walls from wanting to bow out from the weight of the roof pushing down. I understand why they have to be there. I will probably box them in to make them look more decorative so they don't look like just raw 2x4s sticking up there in the air. So it's going to take some work, and this is going to be extremely slow going because now I'm only going to be working on it on the weekends and probably just a little bit at a time. I don't want to go into debt doing any of this stuff, so I'll pay for it as I go. But solar is going to be a big component of this shed because I want to minimize as much electricity as I can, do things semi-off-grid. I will tie in some 120 volt from the house just so I can have backup for the solar mini split, both heating and cooling. I do need to tie water into it and tie it into the drain system and everything. So it's going to take a while. A lot of digging, a lot of trenching, a lot of things going on with it. But this is my plan. Okay, now a couple of things I did opt for on this shed was, first of all, most of these sheds are built with 7-foot walls. I went with the 8-foot walls because I wanted more headroom in there. And I also went, instead of a 412 pitch, I went with the 612 pitch. Gives me a little more room in the loft areas, not that they're tremendously huge or anything. Anyways, you're supposed to put down 4 inches of gravel. I put down 5.5 inches of gravel. I kind of boxed this in with 4x6s and compacted the soil and put the gravel in there and compacted it too. I did go from the normal shed doors that they would put on there, which are only 1.5 inches thick, and they're not very conducive to good insulation. So that's why I opted with the insulated steel doors on here. This is 36 on this side, 32 on the front there. And in this area right here, I may build some kind of little deck or something so I can sit out here and enjoy some wine. Around the back side there, I've had to clean up around some of the trees and stuff. I still got a lot more work to do over there, get that looking decent back there. But I think it's going to be a great vessel for me to do all my work in and without having to bring this stuff into the house. Now, I'm not going to bring bees in here, but they will get in here, I'm sure, because they're going to be kind of upset that I'm taking their honey from them, and they're probably going to follow me down here. So if I can keep the bees out of the house, that's a plus too. So the Tiny Winery is now my latest project that I really did need to take on right now, because I've still got a greenhouse here that needs to be finished up. Now, this whole time that I have not been releasing videos, I've been doing some work out here. The grapevines still need maintenance, and the wife and I have been working on that here in the last few days. The compost still needs to be maintained. The blueberries, our little garden still needs some maintenance in those. Even though they're kind of winding down for the year, all that stuff is kind of dying off, drying out and everything. Might still try to do a little bit of broccoli or cauliflower or something while we've still got a few days left till the first frost hits. I might have enough time to do some of that stuff. A lot of maintenance on the property around here in general, the hillside on the other side of my hill, or the field on the other side of my hill where I've harvested hay over there. That has had a lot of dirt work done on it and getting renovated. Still need to get grass planted over there, but we've had so little rain in the last couple months that it really, putting grass seed down wouldn't have done me any good. And since I have no irrigation over there yet, I've got no way to keep it watered so that it can germinate and grow. But we should start getting into a little bit of rainier weather soon. Like I said, the goldenrod is going to be blooming here soon. It's starting already, and the bees will be out there harvesting, doing their work to get what they need to survive through the winter. And maybe I'll be able to harvest one more small batch of honey before then. And if I can, I'm still going to do it in the house, because I don't want to get a bunch of stuff in the Tiny Winery to have to move around, so I can do the finish work inside there, the rough ends and the finish work and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, if you could, reach down there in the comments and make some suggestions of what you'd like to see being done in the Tiny Winery, maybe a little bit on the greenhouse, any projects you think. I know there's a lot I need to finish up, but anything you want to see in particular, let me know, and maybe that'll motivate me to get some of these things done. But again, I'm one person. My wife helps me occasionally, and I kind of like it that way. I really like when my wife helps me, because she understands me and doesn't question anything I do. Not that I don't need questioning. But anyways, if you could reach up here and hit this button, check out some of my other videos. Hit the little round one down here to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be looking for those comments. I read them all. Thanks for watching.